guys, welcome back to Baja Talks Books. Today we're starting with chapter 44. I'm your host, Killer Toast. What is that a reference to?
Peter Knetter.
Oh yeah, it is Peter Knetter. That saying is like engraved in my mind.
Killer Toast. Let's get nude.
I don't remember that other part.
That's the next line.
Okay, I don't remember that part. Did he do that in all his videos?
No, it was just the one video.
Which video was that?
I don't know. He made a lot of videos.
It was one specific one that I watched enough times that specific line like ingrained itself in my mind.
Yeah, but I remember that one because me and Zachary quoted to each other too.
Radical Nazi. That's another. That was mine.
It must have been the one where he played all the awful racing games, and there was like the bicycle game where you could play as the Slim Jim character.
Maybe.
Loki, I want to find that game. Playing as the Slim Jim guy would be sick.
Yeah, they had that one at McDonald's for a bit actually, where you could play out on the
I
GameCube.
always forget that they used to have GameCubes there, and I used to
Yeah.
go and play like Mario Kart Double Dash and stuff. My
was
mom
so
would get
glad.
mad because she'd be like, play on the play structure and
Yeah.
instead of playing on the GameCube, and I'd be like,
Good old days. That was at the time where like GameCubes were like $100 or something. 100,
Yeah.
150.
that was back when like McDonald's, like the designs of the place were cool and they had like the different areas, and it was just like I don't know, the vibe was just way more fun.
Yeah, it is kind of funny now because they'll have like touchpads and things like on the wall. And I remember seeing those first time being like, wow, they have these when kids should be playing. And I'm like, oh wait, no, never mind. I'm no better. We had GameCubes. I'm no better. Never mind.
Yeah. They added those like years back when I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 14. We used to go to the library all the time. They added like iPads into a section of the library. And my mom would always get super mad because I'd go there and start like playing Scribble Knots or something. And she'd be like, go and read your books and pick out your books. And I can't believe they're putting these in there to like rock kids' brains and stuff. Which, I mean, fair. One of those activities between reading and sitting staring at an iPad on YouTube Kids is definitely going to rot your brain more. Yeah, but we're starting off with chapter 4, and this is just Sereni being a pain. Yeah, we're hot off the heels of her just being like, hey, Raiden, by the way, your dad's dead. I mean, she doesn't know that, like, his dad is... But it's still weird considering this dude probably lived there his entire life, and so she doesn't know whether or not he actually likes the king or not. So she's like, oh, by the way, you're like Monarch? He like, hanged himself, you know? Anyway, it's a little, like, callous of her, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she doesn't know that it's his dad.
To be fair, she's also just an insane asshole, like 90% of the time to everyone.
I don't know if I would say she's an insane asshole. She is pretty insufferable, though.
Yeah, insufferable is probably a better word. And then, yeah, she just kind of tells him, like, yo, he got involved with the Jesker Mysteries. He was sacrificing people. You know, the usual. Like, it just something you get twisted up in every time you're king. It happens.
Who of us hasn't, you know?
Yeah, like... The best of us have all like sacrificed like a cook or something, you know, a serving maid.
You know, sometimes you just need a bit more rain for your crops, and it's easier to kill someone than it is to hope for rain. So
This is probably what the Mayans were yapping about to each other. I mean, who hasn't sacrificed like a newborn child? I mean, I need like gut health for the rest
I
of my
liked when
life.
the Mayans or the Incas or whichever ones it was specifically. I liked when they would like skin the daughter of like monarchs and then wear them around for their festivals and stuff.
I wasn't aware of that one.
Oh, it's pretty fucking cool. You should look it up.
Yeah, that sounds
I think it was the
about right.
Aztecs.
The Aztecs.
I
I
think
forget
so.
which one of it was, but one of them, like, they would want blood sacrifices, and like for girls, like you can just get blood as like waste, but for guys that's not the case. So for them, they just be like, ah, yes, we will just get it from the same place, except your balls. We will cut open your balls, and then that's where we get the blood from, and then we sew it up afterwards.
Yes. Yes.
Why are you so excited about that?
Cut off my balls. Google, cut off this guy's balls.
Google, show me this
Google
guy's
it.
balls. Whoa. I don't know why like every single ancient society had a fascination with like chopping up people's balls and stuff.
Huh?
Like the Jews did it, the Aztecs did it, the Christians did it.
What do you mean the Jews did it? What?
Yeah, they're like chopping up foreskins and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, there was always something to do with like the balls and the wee-wee, bro. Yeah, and then she basically just starts yapping about how, Telry's king. Fjordan's been giving him extra money. He's a Dorothy sympathizer, not synthesizer. I don't know why I said synthesizer. I like how Spirit, which I don't know why he doesn't just tell her his name. I really don't. There is no like what is he getting out of not just being like, yo, by the way, I'm your, supposedly deceased husband.
Yeah, I think he just likes being a silly little guy. And just being like, haha, she doesn't know.
It's like a weird kink.
Where it's like, little does she know.
Little does she know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's like something related to cuckolding, maybe?
Yeah.
Who's to say?
He's got like a weird Elantrian kink where he's like, oh, she doesn't know it's me. So I'm like a different person. Kind of.
Or like
it's
he
weird.
wants to start dating her, someone else, then be like, haha, your dead husband. He wants to be husband 1 and 3.
Yeah. He's going to be the husband and the step-husband. But midway through, he's going to like stage his own death and then come back as himself and be like, yo, what's up, Sereni?
He's going to cuck himself?
And then he's going to use it as like, when he comes back, he's going to be like, so did you like marry anyone else? Did you like date anyone else? To like test their loyalty.
No, I think he's going to use his Elantrian powers to make a clone of himself, so that way they can take turns cucking each other. Because that's how he gets off.
That's true. That's smart. I've never thought about that application of Elantrian powers. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, to be fair, the powers aren't really stated. They could just kind of do whatever as long as they use their magic properly.
Original thought. Original sentence.
Brandon Sanderson, I have a question. Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, they've asked worse questions. There have been way worse questions asked.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you have all kinds of weird sex stuff questions.
Yeah. It's funny because people will ask stuff on Reddit and then sometimes they'll like tag him. And there's like an unspoken rule on the Reddit about like don't tag him because he actually uses Reddit, so he'll get swamped. So people will like not tag him out of like respect for just not overloading him. But sometimes somebody does tag him and then he'll actually answer and be like, lo and behold, why guys? Why? Yeah, and then she just starts kind of explaining everything that's happened from Prince Raiden dying. Not really. He's just sitting there listening to her yap about Prince Raiden dying and be like,
yeah, that guy's super dead.
He's so dead. Hey, they must have really loved him, right? That when they died, when he died, everyone was like really sad and they were all crying.
When you found out that he was dead, like how sad were you exactly?
On a scale of 1 to 10, like how heartbroken and like destroyed were you?
Like how many days did it take for you to get over him? Like how bad was it?
Yeah, he's totally just like prodding her and just being like, I wonder how how badly she wanted me.
There was like this one servant named Melissa. Like how broken up was she about it specifically?
Specifically, yeah. And you said you were like engaged to him. Like how was that going on now? Like, are you getting married to someone else, or are you like, Prince Raiden for life?
Are you still like
hashtag
like
yeah. Yeah, and then he just starts yapping about like, this happened and this happened, and she kind of notes that he already knows a bunch of the Arlon lords and stuff, which I feel like should be an indicator that, this guy is not just some random commoner because he knows all the people she's talking about. Mm-hmm. And then I like that he's shocked she was gonna marry Royale, and he's like, what do you mean? And I heard a line, I found the Duke to be an unquestionable gentleman. And he's like, I thought you were a better judge of character. And then she's like, Shootin suggested it. And he's like, Shootin? What do you mean Shootin suggested it? They're all against me. Mm-hmm. Imagine you like pretend die. And then you like somehow meet the girl you were supposed to marry. And she's like, oh, by the way, both of your best friends were like, yeah, he's dead now. Marry this old dude who is also your best friend. And then they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, your husband's
It's what
dead.
he would have wanted.
It's what he would have wanted.
He's like, that's not what I would have wanted.
He's super shocked and just like, bro, what? And then he kind of slips up and says something about how her wedding contract says that, like, oh, you can never marry again. And she's like, wait a second. How do you know that? I didn't tell you that. And he's like,
Wow,
oh, you did say
weird.
that.
Like only 3 people knew
Only
about that.
3
Like
people.
myself, the king, and like the guy who was gonna marry. It's kind of weird that you know about that for some reason.
Yeah, and then she just drops it because she's like, oh, I didn't say anything about that. And he's like, yeah, didn't she yell it on? And Geldon's like, don't get me involved. And he's like, anyway. And she just drops it. She doesn't say anything about
She's like, well, he did say anyway, so.
I guess we have to move on. And then she drops like this whole sentence about like, I never knew this Raiden. Everyone says he was a fine prince, but what do I owe him? Blah, blah, blah. Why would I honor a contract with a dead man? She's like laying it on super thick. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, damn. Okay. I guess this is where it dies.
Like it's like, dang, no wife for me.
No wife for me.
She's gonna marry my old best friend.
Yeah. He's like, oh, so you only agreed to marry the prince for politics? And she's like, of course. I'm a political creature. I did what I thought was best for Teod. And he's like, wow. Can't trust these hoes.
He's like, dang.
He's so upset and just like sad.
Yeah, and then like right afterwards, I think it'd be really funny if she found out. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I was just saying that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, oopsie, my bad.
Yeah. And then her Sion, Ash, like floats in, and nobody mentions that, like, oh, when they become Elantrian, the Sions go crazy. That happened to him with his Sion, but nobody mentions that this Sion is still working perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Nobody brings that up. Nobody, I mean, I guess he kind of already has this suspicion that, like, the thing that's happened to her in the Gjorn isn't real, but it's still something that he probably should say something about and be like, oh, by the way, why is your Sion working? What the heck? And then they're just kind of waiting for the Sion to come back with information, and then it's done. Telri's king. Her plan has failed, and she's trapped in Elantris for now. And Yaladon is snoring, which is probably the worst part out of all of that. Mm-hmm. And then chapter 45, Hrathen. Hrathen the goat, bro. Hrathen the absolute menace. Hrathen the fireball of energy and angst, and Hrathen the best. Hrathen the homie. Hrathen the absolute like king.
Hrathen, that who's never done anything wrong ever.
He definitely did not get thousands of people killed in a revolution.
Hey, but who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, the Hrathen glaze is so real, bro. Like, he deserves all that glaze. Mm-hmm. Hrathen the best.
Just a big old bucket of cum for him.
Yeah, and then just barrels, absolute. You know that gif of Venom with the milk? that's all right.
All for him.
Yeah, and then chapter 45, Hrathen's aura farming in the moonlight along the Elantris city wall. For some reason, I picture as the Great Wall of China. I don't know why. And then he's looking at the stairwell where they popped out earlier and the boards are pulled free, which I don't know why they didn't like seal it back up or something so that nobody would be like, oh, by the way, there's like a hole and the Elantrians are coming out. And apparently there's these weird Elantrian rodents that make nests that look kind of like it. It's just dropped in there for some reason. And then now he's like, okay, well, I don't really care if the Elantrians sneak out anymore, so I'm just not going to say anything. And then he just walks away, and he keeps walking, and he thinks about how Telri just kind of manipulated him and then dropped him, which I don't really know what he expected to happen. Like, the only thing he really had was Telri's word. He didn't have, like, any actual backing. Telri never did anything for him. So I don't know why he thought the dude would back him up. It's a real moment of like, oh, let me recruit this guy to betray his country. And then what? He betrayed me? That's crazy. I never would have seen that coming.
What, the guy with loose morals has loose morals for me?
No.
I thought he was special.
I thought we were like homies.
I thought I was his special little boy.
Yeah, bro really let it happen to himself. Yeah, he has his aura farming moment, and then he drops a banger line where he's like, let him enjoy his diversion for the moment. On the morrow, the time would come for the payment of debts. Debts. I don't know why I said debts. Johnny Depp. Bring Me That Horizon. That's where the band Bring Me the Horizon got their name. From Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, what?
Yeah. When the pirate dude, Johnny Depp, he's like, bring me that horizon.
And they went, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
they literally went, oh, hey, that's kind of fire. And that's how they got the name Bring Me the Horizon.
That is a really...
I mean...
It's funny. It's also kind of dumb sounding.
I mean... Yeah, but... Those are like the best band names when it doesn't have like a super deep meaning or anything. It's just... It just sounded cool and funny, and so they rolled with it.
I mean, to be fair, we're not really wants to talk. You know?
Yeah. Hazen's just kind of musing about like, oh, well, he's going to demand more money, and then blah, blah, blah. He doesn't understand that, like, bro, power's not in wealth. It's in control. Money is worthless when you can be bought. You just don't get that, bro. Like, he's having his whole social economical, like, debate with himself. And then,
That's stupid. He doesn't get politics at all. Unlike me, I get all the politics. I understand way better.
yeah, he's having this Serene moment.
I'm the special
She's
boy.
rubbing off on him.
Yeah, he's exposed too much Serene, so now he's become the special boy, like how she's the special girl.
Yeah.
Everyone's dumb on me. I'm the one who gets politics here.
Speaking of Serene rubbing off on him, he kind of admits to himself, I think this part is dumb. He grudgingly admits to himself that the reason he wanted to walk the wall of Elantris was because he was worried about the princess. The emotion bothered him, of course, but he didn't deny that he felt it. Serene had been a wonderful opponent. He knew how dangerous Elantris could be. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's just like, but why? Why are you worried about her, bro?
But he doesn't like her. He has shown nothing of the sort the entire time.
Like,
He just straight up does not like her. She's been nothing but, like, aggressive towards him because he's been bad to her.
Like he's mentioned multiple times, like, oh, he respects her, like, ability to, like, counter him and stuff, but there's been nothing up to this point that's like, oh, he cares about her in any form. Now all of a sudden he's like, I hope she's okay. Like, I know I poisoned her and, like, stuck her in there, but, like...
I poisoned her and she could die, but, like...
I didn't
she's doing
like it.
okay.
Yeah, he does feel guilty about it, so I guess he's, like, wrestling with it, but it's still... I don't know. Yeah, after waiting 3 days, however, his resolve was beginning to waver. He needed her to live for more reason than one. Whatever that means. And then... Some dude walks up and is like, you were the Yorn, Hrathen. And he turns around and bum, there's a Sion from the King of Teod, Serene's father. He's like, I come on behalf of my master, King Even Teo of Teod. He wishes to speak with you. And Hrathen kind of, I really don't know why the king just like rolled with it, but Hrathen's like, hey, if you convert, I might be able to, heal your daughter. Just something light. I might have that power. The Lord might be persuaded if you give him some form of encouragement. And then King Even Teo, he knows this is just full of bull. But he's like, all right, if she comes out safely, I'll convert to Shudareth. And Hrathen just kind of locks it in, smiles, and he realizes, hey, in the next few months, like, I'll be able to hand word not one heathen nation, but two. I might be the GOAT. Hrathen the GOAT.
Maybe all my delusions were right. Maybe I am the best.
When you're low-key delusional, but you're low-key right.
Hey, maybe I'm not delusional. I simply am that much better than everyone else.
I simply am Hrathen is that guy.
Mm-hmm. Who else could do what I do? Not a single person.
Not a single person. He's just too goated with the sauce. Mm-hmm. He is the white boy that busts it down.
I mean, to be fair, converting an entire nation to a new religion is kind of a tall order. So it is impressive, but at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like So, since Sereni can actually talk to her dad, he maybe should have like floated it by her first to like check if she was okay.
Hey, Serene, just checking in. Since I can talk to you using my Sion, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing fine. That's good.
Yeah, like there's a whole new city in here, and I've got some dudes who are like helping me out. They're actually like super chill. I don't talk to the Yorn or anything because he's the one who put me in there. And no, her dad just bypasses all that and is like, guess I'm converting. I give in. All right, sorry. Anyway.
This is like my daughter ends up in the hospital. Instead of emailing my daughter, I convert to a new religion.
Yeah.
It's like,
Instead of talking to the doctor, I donate all my money to the hospital.
A Jewish priest comes up to me and goes, hey, you convert to Judaism?
Yeah.
I go, all right, sure, why not?
Sure, yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. And then chapter 46 opens on a real bleak note. There had been times when Raiden wished his father dead. Raiden had seen the people suffering, and he knew his father was to blame. He just kind of thinks about how his father was not a great king and how Erlon would be better off without him.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, dang, I mean, now that he's actually dead, though, like, I kind of feel bad. Like, this was my dad after all, so I guess it's good that he feels bad, but also recognizes that his dad was not good for the country and also not really a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And then blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean the sacrifice thing, really didn't help.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like if your dad starts sacrificing like random woman, that kind of should drive a little rift in there and make you a little less sad than you might be otherwise.
Mm.
And then he goes back to the library, and Serene's just kind of poking around, yakking about how there's not a whole lot of information on Fjorden, and how it just kind of showed up in the last couple hundred years. And there's some lines from Raiden about how the Elantrians were pretty obviously superior to everyone else. They didn't really worry about anybody else, and they didn't really care whether or not they were worshipped, which is a real. I get being like, oh, we're pretty much invincible, so like maybe we shouldn't have anything to worry about, but also I feel like you should still take care to watch the places around your country, just because, I mean, something did happen to them, so being prepared for that kind of stuff would probably be smart. It's a real, like, anytime they have like a sci-fi movie or something where there's like this master race and then they get wiped out by something stupid, like, oh, like they didn't wash their hands or something, and so the common cold killed them all. And it's like, okay, you're this like super brain apex species and you guys don't wash your hands or something stupid like that. Mm-hmm. Really? That's what ended them.
Yeah.
It just feels kind of goofy that they didn't really watch for things like the Fjordans showing up. This is a funny line to me. Is he still up there? Raiden asked as Galadon entered. Yeah, still screaming at his god. You mean praying. That's funny. I think with a lot of like other religions, because I'm used to like Mormon praying and stuff, which is really not like that. And then other religions, the praying is a lot of times just screaming and yelling, which I think that's pretty funny that Brandon Sanderson put that in there. Like a little dig at other religions. Oh, he's praying to his God. Oh, you mean like screaming? Just yelling?
They're different than I am, which means they're wrong.
Yeah, Galadon drops this banger line. You'd think a god would be able to hear him no matter how softly he spoke. And yeah, they're like, what? Why is he petitioning his god to heal us? That really doesn't make sense. Which I think you should be able to put together the pieces at this point and be like, oh, well, it's gonna wear off. So this is just kind of his like show, and then he's gonna get better and we'll be good.
Yeah, the one guy who comes and then gets better and leaves is praying that other people get better and leave. And it's like, oh, weird.
Yeah.
Funny how that works out.
Yeah, you should, between that and her Aeon still working, I feel like they should be able to put together like, oh, she's not actually an Elantrin.
I mean, even just like the fact that no, I guess it's not as To other people, it'd probably be a little suspicious, but to anyone, well, to everyone, it'd be kind of weird. Where it's like, whoa, the person who was like in charge of the country became Elantrian. That's kind of crazy. Except to our main guy, because the same thing happened to him. So he's probably like, oh, happens.
I guess.
But everyone else should find it a little bit suspicious that it's like, whoa, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should be a little bit more surprised than they are.
There is a lot of just, I will just roll with it as it happens. And then he's just kind of sitting there drawing aeons, and Serena's like, why are you drawing that exact same one? Like, it doesn't work, and you've been doing it over and over again. And he's talking to her about, he kind of, where is it? Yeah, he says he's thinking about Aeon Door itself. Now, he understands a lot of the theory, but he doesn't really feel like he's gotten any closer to figure out what's actually blocking the door from working. And it feels like the Aeons have changed and the old patterns are slightly wrong, but he can't figure out why. And Serene, this section is just weird to me. She just mentions that, oh, maybe something's wrong with the land. He's like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, well, you say the Aeons and the land are linked. Even I could have told you that. He's like, oh, your training as a princess includes secret, like, Elantrian magic classes. And this is the part where it gets kind of weird, where she's like, it did include training of the Aeons. To begin every Aeon, you draw a picture of Arlon. I learned that as a little girl, just like a trick her teacher used to help her pay attention. And if you look at the Aeons in the book and the like map of Elantris, it does actually make sense. All the Aeons start the same way, with like a line at the top that represents the coast, a line down the side that looks like the mountains, and a dot in the middle to be the lake. And this is weird to me because Raedon is, I mean, she doesn't know it, but he's the prince of this place. You're telling me that in his entire time living there, his entire life, nobody went, hey, this kind of like, this is how you draw the Aeons. Like, as a base, you draw them like Arlon. And this random TO'd princess somehow knows that. Nobody has mentioned that.
The person who doesn't live anywhere near Elantris knows about it, but he, who does live near Elantris and has, amazing education, because he's a prince, doesn't know about it. Wasn't ever told.
It'd be like if an exchange student came over and he was like, oh, here's how you draw like an uppercase cursive B. And all the people here are like, wait, what? That's how you do it? That's crazy. I never thought about that. It's just like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And the books don't say anything about it either, which you're telling me none of these Elantrians who have, lived in Elantris and used the magic their entire lives, none of them made that connection. None of them even heard about that. And they kind of sidestep it as like oh, well, maybe it's so elementary, like nobody brings it up. But I feel like that's kind of a goofy reason. Yeah, so she kind of drops a bomb on them, and it really changes how they're thinking about the Aeons. And they're like, okay, well, something's wrong. The mountains are still there, the coast's there, the lake is there. Something's up. Do you have any ideas what might be wrong with that scenario? There have been clues in the book up till now.
I don't know.
Okay.
When I've been reading the book, like, I haven't, even though it's better now, I've still been kind of zoned out for a good amount of it.
That's fair.
So, like, I vaguely pay attention to what's going on.
There is a lot of, like, there's a lot of foreshadowing for this, but you'll get it explained eventually. I didn't get it at this part either. I was like, what are they talking about the first time I read it?
I think so. Like, Brandon Sanderson has just done that in, like, all of his books, where there's just, like, a twist at the end.
Yeah.
That's, like, very clearly foreshadowed, but you just don't put together.
Yeah. That's one of the things he's best at.
Yeah, he's very, very good at it. Like, there's a reason why that's what he's known for.
And then, yeah, so they're talking about Aeon Door still, and thinking about, like, whatever affected Aeon Door must have affected the land as well. And then he turns and he's like about to say, like, oh, good job, Serene. And something's up. The princess starts like changing and everything's fading. He's like, merciful, don't me. She's stopping being a Elantrian. Like, something is healing her. And then he makes the connection, like, okay, she's never been able to draw Aeons. She's been complaining about being cold. She's insisted that her wounds didn't hurt. And wait a second, she's not actually an Elantrian. And he's like, Idos Domi. And then he pulls her out, and he basically just tries to get her to leave by being really rude to her.
He goes, you faker.
You faker.
Faker? You're not even good enough to be my fake.
He's all, oh, you think we can afford to feed you? You assume we will waste food on a woman who is not one of us?
Get out of here, you fat, gangly bitch.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that he like switches up and expects her to believe it. And finally he's like, okay, you're calling me on my bull, but like, this is the truth. We don't have enough food for everyone, especially not for like a real person. So you have to leave, even if you don't want to. You got to go out there and like figure it out.
Why was his first reaction? I gotta be mean to this girl. It's the only way that she'll
Yeah,
get
like
out.
he could have just explained.
I can't just tell her things like the fact that I am her husband.
Yeah.
Or like the fact that she's, not one of us and that she needs to leave so she'll starve. I can't say that.
He just grabs her by the arm, drags her out, and starts going, you need to leave. You're gonna eat all our food, and I can't believe we have to deal with you. It's kind of goofy. And then they pull her up to the gates, and the men in yellow and brown, the city guards, shove open the gates, shove Raiden aside, and then they pull him away, and she goes through the gates, they shut, and Raiden, he's sitting there laying on his back, feeling the slime squish beneath him, and he looks up, and Wraithen is aura farming. He looks up, and Wraithen's just sitting there in his blood red armor, staring at him quietly, aura farming, and then the gates shut.
Yeah, his cloak just drifting lazily in the wind.
It's a real cinematic moment.
Arms crossed, not moving.
Yeah. And then that's the end of chapter 46, and I think we'll leave it there for tonight.
Okay.
Wow,
yeah. So many 3 chapters. Whoa.
They were pretty short chapters. Yeah. That wasn't too bad.
And that works out because I gotta get up at 7 in the morning.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you guys next week when we return for more Wraithen madness and Wraithen goatedness and Raiden annoyance and Serene annoyance.
Will Raiden ever just tell people things instead of lying to them?
You're gonna get one of those like 90s TV show like, will Raiden ever tell his wife that he's actually her husband? Will Wraithen finally make love to Dealoff?
Will Serene ever find another woman who's not dumb?
And will she stop being so sexist? Anyways.
Will Raiden finally get that cuckolding that he's always wanted?
Find out on next week's episode of Elantris. Bye-bye.
Or,